Well, good morning, friends. Mark Holmes here with my buddy Cowboy Joe Boot, as well as Joe Bear in the house. And as always, I want to say thank you all for watching, commenting, subscribing, being part of the Joe Boot Sports Report. Without you guys, as well as you ladies, you know that this literally does not work. Let's wake up the football gods here on this Happy New Year, everybody. Today is actually the beginning of the NFL New Year. Wow. That seemed like it was a very, very short offseason. In fact, it felt like New Year started a couple of days ago. The Dallas Cowboys making splashes. Actually, I won't say splashes. We signed Jeremy Sprinkles yesterday. That's right. We did get Malik Hooker back in the fold. And we may be getting Ron Curse back. He's teased that he's coming back to Dallas after literally just erasing everything on Instagram that had anything to do with the Dallas Cowboys. Oh, boy. Here's the reality for us, everybody. The Dallas Cowboys, forget it, this is what the Dallas Cowboys do. I don't know if this is intentionally or not. But the funny thing is this. Anytime there's a problem with the Dallas Cowboys, anytime there's a Dallas Cowboys, we all deal with each other. Everything becomes divisive. And we fight amongst ourselves. You can go back to Tony Romo. You had the Romosexuals. You had the Romo haters. And we'd all point fingers and blame the problems. It's because Tony Romo sucks. It's because Tony Romo doesn't have an offensive line or a defense. We're all here fighting amongst ourselves. This just follows through. Amari Cooper situation. We're fighting on Amari Cooper. Should he be here? Amari Cooper, should he gone? You know, we suck because Amari Cooper checks out. He doesn't block. No, man, Amari Cooper, one of the best route runners. We keep fighting amongst ourselves. Dak Prescott, he's trash. He sucks, man. We lost Randy Gregory because of Dak Prescott. He sucks. Can't keep players here. Randy left because of Dak. And we're fighting as the fan base against each other. Randy Gregory changes his mind and looks at it and says, I've got two offers. I had an offer over here that I thought I was going to take the other night. Y'all called me and begged me to come back and how much you love me. But then you kind of put something in here more that can cost me a whole lot more than it can over here. So in the grand scheme of things, I have a choice between two things. Because people will try and justify everything from the Dallas Cowboys organization like it was coming from God, that it was infallible, that of course they never make a mistake. They're completely 100% innocent. And here it is. We're down here fighting ourselves. We're fighting and justifying that Randy Gregory took a deal that was actually better than this one. And blaming. Again, fighting amongst ourselves. Instead of saying, let's deal with the root of the problem. We're dealing with the symptoms. We're not dealing with the root of the problem. It's kind of like if you watch the Dr. Pimple Popper, right? Yeah, I know you do. It's like, I can't watch, but I can't stop watching. You know what? She always makes sure they get the big bump and stuff on the face or up a horn or on the back of the head or wherever. And they cut They cut it open, and it's just nasty. It just explodes all over the place. Squeezes it, that pus is everywhere. It's just coming out. That's what we are dealing with right now with the Randy Gregory situation. It's come to a head. It's now oozing all over the place. We're dealing with the ooze. But Dr. Pimple Popper, you always see, been squeezing. Oh, everything's out. She digs a little deeper, takes that knife, and she gets the root. She cuts that sucker out, pulls that out. It's not oozing. It's not oozing and splattering all over the place like that. That root's kind of hard. It's down in there deep. But if you don't get the root, that abscess, that boil, that giant pimple will just grow back. And then you're going to be back here again, dealing with all the pus and crap. And, I love how she comes up with, it's like spaghetti, or cream sauce, or she's got different names for the different shit that comes out of it. But if you don't deal with the root, it's going to come back. And herein lies the problem. The Cowboys, we have people going out there and saying, well, Randy Gregory is just greedy. Are you telling me that the NFL organizations aren't greedy? When we pay $300 for nosebleed seats and $8 for a beer, when I can go buy a six-pack of that same beer for $8 as opposed to one, spend $10 for a freaking hot dog? When we get shook upside down for every nickel when we go, parking at that toxic waste dump, FedEx, $50. It's a business. And like any business, they're out to make as much money as possible. So instead of us looking and saying, how'd you guys screw this up? We're looking and say, it's the agent. Oh, he wanted him in Denver. So is he an agent for the Denver Broncos and that all of his clients he's trying to bring to Denver? Is that what we're supposed to be led to believe now? That if you are a client of his, he's going to take you to Denver all the time. Okay, all right. But here's the thing. We're not getting to the root of the problem. The root of the problem is Stephen Jones. We're dealing with the pus. We're enjoying the gore, but we're not dealing with the root. And until we get this root taken care of, this whole thing is going to be repeated. It'll be different players, but it's the same game. So there's nothing we can do as fans. We can't buy the Dallas Cowboys, and the Joneses will never sell the Dallas Cowboys. It's a cash cow because of people like you and me. You say, oh, we'll just stop going to the games. It's beyond that. Because we still watch. We are part of that ratings of the NFL. And if you watch one, you're supporting all. Revenue sharing. And with gambling, because we're all gambling-aholics, with the television, the streaming, it's everywhere. And every time you watch, you are supporting Jerry Jones, whether you're a Cowboy fan or not. There's little we can do other than say, I can't support this team anymore and find another one. Or if you stay, you have to understand this is the nonsense that you have to deal with being a Dallas Cowboy fan. This is realness, not sugarcoating and not bullshitting you. It's like being in an abusive relationship. We always believe, we hear, oh, we're sorry, I didn't mean it, I'll do better. And we fall for it, and then it happens again. It's a never-ending cycle. This is the life of a Dallas Cowboy fan. We get sold hope going into the season, We get drama after it. And come training camp, they will sell us that the Dallas Cowboys have a Super Bowl roster. That's what they do. So, back to that. Von Miller allegedly has a strong interest in the Dallas Cowboys. Fool me once, shame on me. No, excuse me. Fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me. Now, we've heard players have interest before from Jamal Adams, Earl Thomas literally coming in the locker room saying, come get me. But allegedly, this interest is higher with Von Miller. Bobby Wagner, we know that there's some interest there because of Dan Quinn. We don't know if this is leverage that he's trying to use like others or if it's real. I dare say, in my opinion, the longer this goes, the better the chance for the Cowboys. That somebody is not stepping up to the plate and making an offer to blow him away, that just makes him forget about everything. And I don't believe that's happened yet. So to me, I think they've got a chance to do that. And for the Cowboys organization, they need to do something like this to appease the masses. Now, people will say I'm a flip-flopper. I'm not a flip-flopper. What I try and do is I am the glass half full guy. I'm going to try and give you the positives of something that happens. And that's exactly when yesterday, Randy Gregory, we thought he was back in the fold. All right. We've got a guy who's 28 years old, doesn't have a whole lot of miles on him, is in Dan Quinn's system second year, has shown flashes of being really good, has, 6 sacks last year, was disruptive, and can be really, really good. He goes to Denver. All right, let me think of the other side of it. That's $13, $14 million that we still have. There's other guys out there with similar skills. I know people say, just sign Dorrance Armstrong. Dorrance Armstrong, he's good, but he's not Randy Gregory. Doesn't have the physical tools that Randy Gregory does. But with Dorrance Armstrong, and if you end up signing another player, Von Miller, and Von Miller, I will say, Von Miller is older. Von Miller's best days are behind him. But if you can have Von Miller in spot duty with his experience, his energy levels, and mix in a Micah Parsons and a Dorrance Armstrong, limit his play count so he can be maximized out there, use him as a second wave, by all means. That's going to be better than just Randy Gregory being there alone. Creating mismatches and having differences of looks. Yes, and that would be better. On the bad side of Randy Gregory has boneheaded mistakes, and this is probably because he's still pretty raw and does not have that much experience. Late hits, low hits on the quarterback, tackling of offensive linemen. When on third down, a big third down, where we needed to get the ball back, he tackled the offensive lineman. Cost us 15 yards. Cost us getting the ball back sooner. So, am I flip-flopping and saying No, I'm not happy Randy Gregory's gone. Not at all. But I'm trying to at least look for the positive when most people are just going solely negative. So, let's go to the last word last night about Von Miller's strong interest in the Cowboys.
Switcheroo as the Cowboys social media accounts tweeted out that Randy Gregory is staying in Dallas, and then boom, it becomes apparent he's instead going to Denver. The deal was the same with both teams, 5 years, $70 million, $28 million in guarantees, but obviously there was a lot more to it. All right, this new on NFL Live, Von Miller, one of the biggest names in free agency, and former Cowboy DeMarcus Ware made his pitch today. Listen to this.
Come on, D.
Moves around the NFL. Russell Wilson going to Denver. Randy Gregory going to Denver. There's a missing spot in Dallas now. Just talked to Von Miller. Michael Parsons, DeMarcus Lawrence, and Von Miller. Sounds good to me.
Sound good to me.
And a smile at the end. All right. So here's Von Miller's response to that pitch. The eyeball emojis. That's one of Dan Orlovsky's favorites. What do you think?
It is.
What do you think, Marcus Spears? How does that sound? How does that sound?
Look at him.
See, here's what I love about this. Y'all thought I was the only one.
Y'all thought I was.
So many of
It seems
us.
like it's a sickness.
It's a
in Dallas.
brotherhood. It's literally when you play for the Cowboys.
Love it.
You know. It'd be perfect. It would be perfect. And y'all, like a little background about DeMarcus and Von. Von looks at DeMarcus as a mentor, as a big brother. Because when D. Ware left and went to Denver, he was already the guy. He was the guy that everybody sought out to figure out how to pass rush, all of those type of things. So this has more influence than me saying it, obviously. But Vaughn, I second that motion.
All right, so now we got at least one more pitch from a former Cowboy for Von Miller. We'll keep our eye on that happening. Also, as we've talked about, some big moves in the AFC West. It's almost a keeping up with the Joneses, so to speak, at this point. So let's talk about the West on defense especially. RC, what do you think was the best addition so far in the AFC West?
I mean, well, if you're looking at the AFC West and what they've been from a situation of defense, they ain't played a lot of it.
Right.
Right. And so now when you're looking at Randy Gregory joining the Denver Broncos, a team that was already great defensively, you say, oh, I like that. But J.C. Jackson, Khalil Mack for the Los Angeles Chargers, a team that knows they have Justin Herbert. That's a team that's telling me that right now they want to win and win big. They understand that they have a quarterback you're probably going to have to pay after this year. So you go out, you get a lockdown corner that gets the football back. That is huge. Now you add a rusher to the opposite side of Joey Bosa. This is a team that understands we have Derwin. We have young linebackers. We needed to get better against the run. Khalil Mack does that and gives you a rusher. And now you have J.C. Jackson on the opposite side of Asante Samuel.
How you like the scheme?
You know what? I don't want to play with another team's riches that we're not getting at the moment. But I do want to go ahead and finish this off. I'm actually going to be on the road here on this Happy New Year. I'm going to be on the road. Going to be actually doing a little bit of work at the Red Brick House, which will be great. Definitely check out my Joe Boot day job. We'll probably be live streaming there. And I'll, of course, have my Damn Gina report at the ready so that way we can cover anything that happens. Multiple reports are saying that between Carolina and New Orleans Saints, that those two are the leaders right now in the clubhouse, where this Houston have basically approved either of those deals. They're basically waiting for Deshaun Watson to say which team he wants to go to. He is visiting Atlanta today. Allegedly, 3 first-round picks are on the table. 3 first-round picks for Deshaun Watson. Rumor is if he does go to Atlanta, that Matty Ice may be going to Seattle. Basically a stopgap, a bridge, a temporary fix, a Band-Aid, so to speak, for the Seattle Seahawks. So it's going to be another busy day. It's early this morning. I'll be on the road, but, of course, I've got the da-da-da-da-da-da Damn Gina reports. Shout out to Gina and Cameron Billings, as well as Stacy Schubert and Miss Jackie for making sure we are all up to date. And with that being said, you know how we roll.
Our folks here, and as always, I want to thank you all for watching, commenting, subscribing, and being part of the Joe Boo Sports Report.
This is one hell of a job, and the only thing else I got to say is